Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 202 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Solozo. And today we're going to be talking about quite a few things: product research, private label, brand building, even throw in some Amazon drop shipping. We got all kinds of topics we can explore today. And to do that, we've got a great guest on from London, Nyesworld. What's up, Nyesworld? How are you?
I'm perfectly fine. How's everyone doing today?
We are great. Excited to be talking to you. Excited to learn a little bit about your journey, sort of all the things that you're up to now, and then we can talk about some tips and tactics and strategies around all kinds of different areas on the Amazon space. But I think before we get started, I'd love to give you the floor for a little while and give us a background on you, just sort of your journey, how you ended up in the Amazon e-commerce space and the type of things that you're up to. So take it away, Nyesworld.
Okay, well, firstly, when I was in university 3 years ago, because I finished university at 23, so obviously this was around the time of the pandemic, and finishing university now, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, because again, because I'm from London in England, normally when people finish university, they tend to end up in sales jobs or they end up in things like recruitment and things like that. So obviously, when I first left university and I got my first job, I got fired like in 3 months. And again, when I got fired, I was just like, you know what, this is all due to lack of effort. They didn't have to tell me the reason. I already knew the reason. It was like lack of effort, all the traveling, like I just couldn't handle it. So I had to find other ways, obviously, to generate income, but something what I could also do long term. So then that's when I started learning about Amazon FBA. Again, when I first started, I wanted to take it very serious. I didn't just want to invest a small amount of money in and then get bored of it. So I thought, you know what, I'm really going to learn about Amazon FBA. I'm going to learn about the e-commerce world. So what I did, I hired a tutor, obviously here in London. Again, I paid them to obviously teach me the real in and outs. Again, I took a course as well. And after I'd done that, I just went straight in, launched my Amazon FBA business. Then obviously I've expanded onto opening my own business when it comes to the e-commerce agency. And ever since then, I've just been flying within it.
That's well, let's dive into some of that a little bit. So you launched an FBA business. Like what was your methodology? I mean, obviously you were just starting, so I'm sure it was learning on the fly. It was working with your mentor, your tutor, you're taking courses. I mean, that very similar to Chris and myself, and we started a while ago. There was less of that, but there was podcasts and things out there where you got information. So do you mind going through some of the steps that you took? Like, how did you figure out what product you want to sell, what marketplace you wanted to be in? You know, we can go through this whole process because it's good for everybody. You know, working with suppliers, how did you find them? All of that. How did it really get cranked up for you?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, again, the actual first thing I did, I started watching YouTube about product research. And again, when I was watching YouTube, I was just thinking to myself, everyone is doing this. I'm not the only person. So if everyone's doing it, it can't be this easy. So instead of actually rushing to get my first product, I started to actually get deep knowledge about helium-10 as well, because obviously I knew about the two research methods. You could use helium-10 or Jungle Scout. But I thought if I'm really going to do this properly, I need to know the full in and outs. So when I actually first got into product research now, again, I wanted to choose products from personal opinion. And again, I was going to do that. Like I put away like about £3,000 to pay for a product. And I only thought it would do good, but I had no data to actually show that this product would be a good product. So obviously before me actually going on to Alibaba, finding a supplier and everything like that, I was telling my tutor this and he said, never ever choose on personal opinion, go by complete data. And ever since then, that's what I did. I started really analyzing the products, what's going by trends. I started looking into other insights, platforms and things, what's really selling in London and in England. Because again, I can't sell in obviously the US market. It's very different. Again, I tried to apply for it, but for some reason I can't expand into the US market. But yeah, in England, it's very different. So obviously when it comes to the actual consumers and what they're looking for, I had to really find very good products. And the products I went for was garden equipment. Because in England, for some reason, obviously it rains quite a lot. It's quite a cold country as well. But with them type of products, it's a booming product. Anything garden related is very good. But again, when it came to the actual garden products now, I didn't just want to sell the standard things because I know once I start, I'm going to have low reviews. It's going to be like going up a hill in slippers. And I did not want this at all. So I said, I keep it very simple, nothing too complicated. So my first product was actual potato bags. Again, it was just standard potato bags. I got it off Alibaba. I invested about £2,000 into it. Before I actually told them to send it to me, I changed my mind how I wanted to do it. I wanted to obviously sell this product, but I wanted it to be branded. I wanted the image of the product to make it look like this brand has been around for years, even though it technically hasn't. Because when I was looking at my competitors, I had about 15 competitors. It was all unbranded, selling the same product. So I said to myself, I'm going to be smart with this, and I'm really going to create the packaging. I'm going to brand it. I'm going to make sure it looks very professional and make it look like it's been around for years. Then once I'd done that with that product, that blew up. I started making a lot of money off that, and I just kept on growing, buying more products, investing in different things.
How many was your initial order? How many units did you get on your initial order for those potato bags?
Yeah, for the potato bags, my first order was 600 units. And then within, I think I sold out in 3 months. It was in 3 months. But obviously, I ordered before I sold out. And then my next order was 1.5. Again, I just doubled it with a bit more because I didn't want to go too drastic and get 20,000 units. I said, no, that wouldn't be smart. I prefer to sell multiple things. So I got 1,200. And then after that, that's when I went on to my next product.
And when was this? How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And what was your launch strategy for when that product, when your first product, when it landed, how did you start to get sales and rank it?
Again, when it came to that, obviously, they said to me, it's going to come by sea. Because obviously, again, I just wanted to save as much money as I wanted to. Because again, when I started Amazon, I learned about PPC as well. And again, a lot of people don't really know about PPC. And that's really the hardest tackle you have because it's so much marketing and it can be expensive. So I made sure when they said to me, okay, your product will take 40 days to come, I made sure I had everything set. I wanted to get a lot of organic sales. So I started to post my actual products on other social media platforms just to really boost the awareness. Because I know if I only relied on PPC, I'm not going to make too much money. But again, I had a very good PPC strategy in order as well, which kind of did take flight as well. So it went really good.
So you were making posts on social. Were you collecting any type of like email address from these like people that were engaging with you, or were you just basically just making posts so people knew, you know, within the next 30 days or so, you're going to have this product live and then they can buy it?
Yeah, like obviously, you know, like right now you have the reels, like you have reels, you have TikTok. Back then it wasn't like that. But what I would do, I would just like get excellent type of pictures. Again, of just having standard pictures put up. I would also add like let's say a 5-second video of it, or like 5 to 10 seconds, just showing what it can do. Because the image of a potato bag, not a lot of people know how to use this. So I made like a little video where obviously, because you know you have videos on Facebook, like people would watch videos about cats eating chewing gum for like about an hour because it's so entertaining. So I was making sure I was making engaging videos with this potato bag, obviously adding a bit of comedy in there, and it all worked.
And this is naive maybe on my part because I'm not a potato farmer. But is that a very seasonal product? Does it sell out? Yeah.
Definitely.
So how did you manage that? Like, were you aware of like when that season was going to end, and did you slow down your purchasing from the manufacturer, or do people continue to buy this just at a slower rate throughout the year?
At the beginning, because obviously when they first landed with me, it was around April time. So obviously that's when it starts getting a bit warmer out here. That's when people come outdoors. So when that happened, my sales really started picking up fast. Again, I was doing heavy PPC as well. Like at the beginning, I was doing very heavy to really get myself out there. So sales were picking up. And then once it turned into September, it kind of slowed down a bit. But obviously I expected that again due to season. But this was a naive part of me as well. Because I took it into consideration, but I didn't take it into real consideration, like the real effect it would have on me. Like nowadays, when I order products, I make sure it's not seasonal. I make sure it's like an all-round thing. The sales did slow down eventually as well. As they started to slow down, that's when I really started sourcing other type of products. And then that's when I started growing my whole portfolio of products I sell.
And when you expanded, did you stay? Is this a like growing a brand play that you're doing here? I mean, is it everything going to be in this garden niche that you're trying to when you source, or are we going wide?
I was going wide pretty much again because this is like my first year in. So obviously I had the mentor and he started to overcharge me, and I was just like, you know what, I can do this on a solo. I'll just learn myself. So then that's what I eventually did. But again, with these things, I always like the garden, like again the actual garden sector, because it's really good. Because the next product I moved on to was metal pots, but I started to learn about when it comes to product sourcing, source certain things from certain countries. For example, if I want anything relating to clothing, like any material, I source my products in Taiwan because obviously they really do specialize in that. But when it comes to metals, I don't source in China. I only source in India because it's a lot cheaper over there as well. So pretty much now, I don't have no interest in garden pots at all. I have no interest in building a brand on it. But again, the trend of it was amazing. The specific one was amazing. And when I got it from India, I got it from like half the price they was offering me in China. So I customized it. I threw my actual logo on the actual pot, again, making it seem like the product's been around for a long time, just to bring in the customers, make them trust me a bit more. And it worked.
Sourcing from India is kind of a hot topic. How did you find a supplier? What were you using to find a supplier?
Well, when it came to that, obviously it was all still Alibaba, but Alibaba's mainly China, because obviously it's a lot of Chinese factories. So again, what I did, I just typed in best materials from certain countries. And when I'd done that, that's where I found out Taiwan is good for clothing. India is very good for obviously metal. So then that's what I did. I just went there and then I found a website which it's like Alibaba, but it's not as good, but it's only for pretty much Asian countries like Indian, Pakistani, places like that. Then I just found this manufacturer. I built a very good communication with him. Again, spoke to him like every day, told him what I really wanted, and he was good with me. Like he did really help me a lot, and he gave me a good product.
Were you doing the same, like posting photos online for the pots that you did with the bags?
The pots, I didn't go as extreme. Like again, I kept it more simple because obviously I knew more about Amazon FBA now. There wasn't really a need for me to go as hardcore, like creating videos and everything like that. Nope. I just invested in a good camera, a all white lighting box, put it in there, took it from different angles, took a picture of the packaging saying Nyesworld on it. And then that's just how I done it. My pictures was better than everyone else's. Like a lot of people are lazy, especially in the UK market. They're very lazy. And then they get very frustrated when they don't get sales. So I just made sure I purchased good cameras for good pictures, everything like that.
So you took your own photos and did all that?
All own photos. Had to do it.
That's impressive. All right. Well, so look, I want to go back to the for right now, the product research, because obviously you're rolling out products. You seem to have a knack for finding these opportunities. What is your criteria? So you mentioned first the product, you had the potato bags. There was like 15 competitors. What about those 15 competitors made you feel like this was a area you could enter and do better?
Definitely. So how I actually do it, like my certain strategies when it comes to product research, the first thing I look at is search volume. Again, search volume is very interesting. Like again, because I know when it comes to search volume, I need to look at the keywords people are using as well. I need to see what's really hot. Because again, when you search it, it kind of shows the overall demographics of the world. But obviously, I need to filter mine down just to the UK because I'm only selling in the UK. So obviously, I was looking at things like search volume, revenue being made. Again, obviously, how much profit margin can be made. Because again, I took everything into consideration when it came to the actual shipping fees, everything. I took it all into consideration. So loads of things like that is really my criteria. So search volume, the amount of profit I make, the amount of sales it gets. Obviously, you can take a look at when it comes to the trends. You can look for like up to 6 months to a year. But I go further back to like about 2 years. Like I just want to really see if this thing is really worth selling. But that's how I do it.
And all of that was through Helium 10 that you were looking at?
Yeah, all through Helium 10. But again, I did use other insights platforms. Like they have loads of insights platforms on specific products. You can just type in and really find. And I see like with consumers in England, they have a thing for when the sun comes out, they go crazy, meaning they want to start buying all this garden stuff. Like England goes nuts because we're a cold country. Most of the time it's grey. So when the sun comes out, that's when these products is selling. You can even extort customers. Something can worth 2p and you can sell it for £30 because over here they will buy it when the sun comes out.
It's interesting. You know, a lot of times seasonal products can be tricky on product research because you'll do, I mean, if you're doing your product research in the middle of winter or potato sacks, you might get misleading data unless you expand that out long enough. It could be like, oh, there's hardly any search volume for this. Maybe I'll pass, but it looks like you did a little bit more extensive research to figure out that it's about to be peak season for this. These numbers are going to go up. And then when you saw the competitors, was that an important part of your decision making? And did you look at the other offerings out there and what struck you about them? Was it just poor quality listings, bad reviews, not enough reviews? You felt like you come at a better price? What made you feel like you were going to outgame them on Amazon?
The first thing I would definitely say was the picture quality, because again, I could really just tell everyone was using the same pictures. Like everyone was just copying each other's type of pictures. So I could tell if I sell this product, I can definitely make better pictures. But the thing what really struck me about these specific type of metal pots I was selling was the fact that the amount of sales it was getting. I knew it was seasonal, but I said it's going to take me about 3 months to sell these things. So that's how I worked it out. I didn't say I want to sell this all year. I just want to sell it for a good 3 to 4 months and expand. So again, that's just what I took into consideration. The type of sell, like even the top sellers, like who were selling this product, again, I thought the listing quality wasn't that great. Like it was pretty poor, like wasn't really anything too eye-catching. I saw loads of grammar mistakes in there as well. So I was like, you know what, I can get a proper content writer to write this for me, proper English, make it look super professional, and I could skyrocket past all of them. And then that's what I did. So it was good.
And then what did it look like? Let's talk about the potato sacks right now for this one. So it launched after that initial launch. What was it profitable from the beginning, or did you go through a period of time where you were spending a lot of money trying to get it ranked? You know, there's always these different stories. A lot of products take a long time to rank and you're unprofitable for a long time, and some can hit right off the bat. What did that look like for those?
When it actually came to that, again, I took that into consideration before I actually started as well. Because again, the standard dream of it, like, okay, as soon as I start selling, I'm going to make loads of money. But then I took into consideration, I said, first I need to break even, because I know I'm going to have to spend a lot of money on advertising. Even though I'm advertising on other platforms, I know Amazon is going to want to make money off me as well. So I have to use their marketing platform just to get to top of page one, or to be, where it says Amazon choice, like to even get these type of things, I have to spend a lot of money. So I already took into consideration at the beginning, if I'm selling these amount of units, I need to sacrifice about 200 units. And when I mean sacrifice, I mean I'm not going to make no money off these 200 units. But what it's going to do, it's going to build up my ranking. It's going to build my organic ranking. I'm going to get higher up. And obviously, I know my actual reviews are going to develop as well. Definitely. So that's how I always strategize with every product I sell. I always say to myself, I'm going to have to sacrifice a certain amount of units where I'm not going to make money. But eventually, if I use my strategy right, I'll break even, and then I'll be able to make profit.
And a lot of people listening are going to be very interested in your PPC approach to this. So after you launched them, they're live. At what point did you launch ads, and what sort of structure or strategy did you have around your ads that you're running?
With my actual ads now, so obviously when it came to my full PPC structure, obviously I only spent I set a budget for my PPC all the time. Like I only spend like 10% of the ultimate money the whole product cost me just on marketing and advertising. So, but my main objective is always to get organic keywords, because one thing about me, I don't care about the speed I sell in. I care about just selling them under organic ranking, like organic sales. That's all I really care about. If a product takes a year to sell, I'm fine with it. As long as I make 30 to 40% profit margin, I'm perfectly fine with it. So when it came to my actual strategies now, again, it was just about really checking up on Helium-10, the trends of it, really making sure that my PPC is correct, especially with the keywords I'm paying for, because I noticed it was very expensive, my keywords. Like per click, it was costing me like about 50p or something like that. And I was getting a lot of impressions. Like at the beginning, that's when it was really hard. I was getting so many like impressions, but awful conversion. But eventually it changed. So that was really good.
When did it change? Once reviews started coming in, or?
Once the reviews come, once I had over 15 reviews, that's when it got good. Like that's when I could actually take my foot off the gas pedal a bit, cut down on the marketing. Again, because the thing what kind of did me have in the front of other people, I was selling it at a lower price. Like people were selling at around $21.99, and I was selling for like around $19.99. Not a big difference, but to a consumer, if they see $19.99 just below £20, they're like, oh, okay, we'll buy it. So it was good like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, especially if everything else is better too. If your listing's better, all that stuff, then that certainly would help on the conversion side of that, and help generate that organic ranking. But specifically on the PPC, what kind of campaigns were you running? Were you just targeting like exact match for certain keywords that you wanted, or were you running auto camp? Were you doing any sort of research, like letting an auto run or some sort of broad match or anything like that to find areas that you may convert on that you didn't realize? Or was it a very specific and tactical approach?
The tactical approach I went for, I had to keep on doing broad. Like, again, I've done quite a lot of exact matching for keywords. Like, again, because I wasn't the best at PPC at the beginning. Like, again, not even now, like I'm not the ultimate pro at it. Like, I just know how to really do get conversions. So I tend to do a lot of exact match. That is really what I do go for. Because again, the products I sell, they're not really too competitive, if you know what I mean. Like they're basic products, but they're a bit niche compared to the others. So again, I always go for like exact phrases or everything like that.
And do you do that for a lot of keywords, or are you trying to rank for just a few of the main ones?
I only try to rank for the main ones, but again, that all goes by just data. So when I take a look at the search volume for like the right keywords people are using, that's the ones I really aim to rank on pretty much. But the main ultimate goal was just to have organic rankings.
And then in terms of bidding on those keywords, were you bidding to try to make sure you're getting top placement on there, or were you okay with any placement as long as the numbers worked in terms of profitability?
At the beginning, it was just bidding to really try to get more awareness. I really wanted to be on like page one. So that's when I was spending a lot of money. And that's when I took into consideration just sacrificing 200 units. After that was done, once I started getting the reviews in, then I kind of cut down on the bidding, lowered the actual amount I was spending on it. And it's just been left on that ever since. Because that's what I tend to do for the first month to 2 months. I go really hard on PPC. And then after that, I kind of just put it on best word airplane mode. That's the best word, airplane mode.
And do you keep it on airplane mode, or do you ever turn it off, or you're that airplane mode is
You
where
can't turn your airplane mode off until we land, Dustin.
Exactly.
You gotta keep airplane mode.
I always do it, so I just end up leaving it on airplane mode and then going on to something else, like finding another product to go for. And then that's just like my products I have now, they're all on airplane mode. Like I check in on them because again, I don't really care about the speed of sales. As long as I have a good ranking and it's organic ranking, like I don't particularly mind. There's no rush for me.
How many products you got?
4.
4.
I used to have 6, but now I've gone down to 4, like which are my main sellers.
Ooh, good question here. So why did you get rid of the other 2?
They were costing me too much money. Again, because I could see obviously the PPC on them was quite a lot. And then I just thought, you know what, let me drop them. Let me just keep a stable 4 products. What's not going to cause me a headache, because the other 2 I had, they had a lot of returns. And that's one thing I do take into consideration as well, the returns volume. If I see there's a lot of returns volume, I'm out of it. And the thing is, where I went wrong when I first started, that one of the products was electronic. It was like a little feeble toy and had lights inside of it and it was span around. So I thought, you know what, this is cool. It's really trending everywhere. Let me buy it. And then all of a sudden, I start selling it. People are telling me, oh my gosh, the lights don't work. Like, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm scrapping it. So
I hear you, man. My first product was electronic. My second product was electronic too. And it's just too much of a headache. People return it and they broke. And so talk about that experience. Was it hard to let go of those 2 products? Like I know a lot of sellers, they put all this time and effort into researching. And they're like, I got to make it work. Talk about that. Was it a tough decision, or you just look at the data and say, I'm out?
Yeah, pretty much now. When I got it, because when I first ordered them, I looked at the search volume for it. Like it was performing quite well. But I said to myself, because I've already got some products selling, obviously that's costing me money. I'm always going to put away a budget for like a new product. And obviously because it was electronic, again, I didn't really know about how electronics was, but I thought, let me not go too crazy. Let me just order 300 units. So when I ordered the 300 units, again, it must have come to like about £1,500, including shipping, because it was very lightweight as well. So when I saw that it wasn't performing and then I was getting loads of returns, like even some people conned me as well. Like some people said, oh, it doesn't work. They didn't send it back. They just sent me an email saying it didn't work. Like, and they got a refund and things like this. So I just pretty much had it. I was just like, you know what? I'm keeping away from electronics. Never.
I hear you. I hear you. Never again. Never again. I don't care how good the numbers look. I'll never do electronic. If you were starting over, let's say you started today. Let's say you just started fresh. What would you change differently? What have you learned in the last couple of years? What would you do differently?
I would say what I would actually honestly do different, I would learn more about the drop shipping method for selling on Amazon, because when you start selling Amazon, a lot of people, like again, even the students who I have, a lot of people, they don't have, like, let's say, the capital to really bring back a lot of money back in. So one thing I've explored now is a dropshipping method on Amazon where you ride other people's ASINs. So if I started again, that's what I would learn straight away, because that's so much, it's a lot more easier. Again, you're not really allowed to do it, but you are allowed to do it at the same time. There's just like a certain criteria for things. But that's what I would definitely do. I would learn the dropshipping method through the Amazon. That's what I would do.
Break that down. What
Yeah.
does that method look like?
Dropshipping method, again, it's just where you ride other people's actual product listings. So again, you can list up their actual product. Like again, you can use their advertising. You ain't got to do no PPC or anything like that. But when an order comes through, you have to source it from somewhere else. So for example, now I sell 3 products. They're all pet related, like pet food, but they're not my products. Again, I'm just riding other people's ASINs. So we have I know in America you have Walmart and things like that. In England, we got Asda and Tesco. They're like our big shops for food and everything like that. So on Amazon, it's sold for like about $29.99, and then if you buy it from Tesco or Asda, it's like £10 or something like that. So when an order comes through, I just source it from there, and then I send it directly from Tesco's to them. Even though it does not come in the Amazon box, there's still not an issue. It's still like the dropshipping method for it, so it works.
Good way to generate some cash.
Yeah, like again, yeah, there's a lot of in and outs of it. Again, they say you're not really allowed to do it, because obviously I did look into it deeply, because before I did start receiving emails from the actual people's products saying, can you please take down my listing and things like that. But that's because I didn't know the actual criteria. And the criteria, there's like about 20 things you have to make sure is in line to actually do it. But now I know the criteria. That's really what I do. It's the main way.
What's the main criteria? What are like 2 or 3 of those criteria that you have to meet?
So one of them is the ACOS. One of them is the amount of reviews the product listing you're riding has to have. And then one of them is the sales volume as well. Like it has to hit a certain number for the criteria for you to allow to keep on selling it without it being taken down.
Interesting.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's, there's other people who would go to the store, purchase that stuff, and then ship it into FBA.
Yeah.
Obviously there's more fees involved potentially in there, but if there was ever an issue, that's another route you can go to pull off the same thing with super low capital investment.
Yeah,
it's not much to go buy 10 things and then ship it in, or fulfill it yourself from your house or whatever. You would have the inventory on hand as opposed to waiting for the order to come.
Yeah.
But interesting. Yeah. I mean, we talk about this all the time. There's so many ways. Private label is there's no getting around the startup capital that you need for private label.
Definitely.
It's really tricky. I mean, even some of the numbers that you were throwing around, like 1,500 pounds, 3,000 pounds, like initial orders, that's on the low end. And that doesn't even count, maybe you need a 500 pound, advertising launch budget. There's other things that you need for sure to get that started. And so there's a lot of ways, whether it's retail arbitrage or online arbitrage or wholesale or drop shipping or any of the ways to build up capital. What are your thoughts on, I know you work with some students and stuff, but that right there is a good way to learn just the Amazon ecosystem and all the things that you're going to need to do later for private label.
Yeah.
You're listing products, you're maybe shipping stuff in. You just learn a little bit more about the process and the fees and everything else. Do you work when you're working, when we're going to talk about like sort of how you consult and work with people, we'd love to dive into that a little bit, but do you just assess their capital at the beginning? What do you have? To determine a starting point?
When it comes to that now, obviously, when we actually help our actual clients now, we have to know their actual capital and their budgets. Because again, that's probably one of the most common questions we get, like through all of us to start. And we can't really say to them, you need £1,000, you need £2,000, you need £3,000. Because in the UK, a lot of people don't have that. So what we do, we always go down like the retail arbitrage way, or we teach them the drop shipping method way, where they can just invest in small capital, build capital once they start learning and actually knowing what to do. And once they start really making money doing this, then they can go down the building their own brand, because they'll have a bit more money to actually invest. Because a lot of people who come to me, they're really young. Again, like people kind of have the same story as me. They're finishing university at like a young age, don't really know what to do. So they don't have these big thousands to be spending. So that's what I really do teach them. I teach them just go down the retail arbitrage route, really go to shops, buy all their remaining inventory, look at liquidating companies. Because in England, there's liquidation. That's one route we also went down. Because obviously the pandemic, loads of companies have just fell down, and they're just selling all their inventory for the cheapest as ever. So that's one thing obviously I show to our clients. I give them the links to them websites, to the actual manufacturers who are offering that, and they can just go from there.
So talk about your what do you call it? Is it an agency, a consultancy that you have? Talk about just all the different offerings that you have for clients and what that looks like working with them.
Most definitely. So the Amazon Secrets, it originally started off obviously just offering a course. Like obviously the course, it gives you the reality of Amazon FBAs. Like again, we don't just say it, we actually show you the full-on strategies like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of like PPC, exactly what you need to aim for and everything like that. But because obviously now we're expanding, we're changing it obviously from just offering a course to offering 3 different things. But it's mainly down the advisory route. So again, we offer account management. And when it comes to account management, that's just where we take full control of the actual client's account. So any issues they come across, we're already there to help it. Like if they're having awful sales, what we do, everything is bespoke as well. Connecting to bids to make them spend loads of money and get sales and end up making no money. No, we always go down like the organic route, really see what's good for them and everything like that. So that's full account management. Or we offer just PPC strategies. Again, if you just want that, again, just contact us. We'll assess obviously your PPC report. We'll see what needs to be changed, what's been going wrong. Because again, we have different insights where we can go back and look at your data. Then we'll create a solid PPC structure for you, what you can of course use for how long you want. But again, it does guarantee to work. And then also product listing. Again, product listing now is just where we make sure everything looks professional for you. Like we'll even help you with the pictures. We'll really put you in front of your competitors. But again, we have to really speak to you and know what you want to do first before we do these things.
That's excellent. That's awesome. I'm sure your clients love it. I'm sure they love working with you. And there's nothing better than getting those first couple sales coming in. I mean, it becomes super real. And you're like, okay, this is a legit business. I can do this. I can learn along the way. It's an amazing experience. And I know there's a lot of people, whether they're in a corporate job that they don't like, they don't see a future in it, or whether they're looking for ways to make money. There's such a great opportunity here. So people that are listening, how can they contact you if they're interested in working with you?
Again, everything is really done through our social platforms. So we have the Amazon Secrets Instagram there. And then we have the my personal YouTube channel, which is obviously Nyesworld. On that YouTube channel, I'm giving out more content, more information, like obviously PPC strategies, loads of videos regarding to that. They can go directly to our website, which is theamazonsecrets.com. They can even go to our TikTok, which is again, the Amazon Secrets. Or then they can actually contact me personally directly on Instagram, which is Nyesworld.
Awesome, man. Well, I encourage everyone to do that. The AmazonSecrets.com. Check him out. We really appreciate you joining us, Nyesworld, and it's good insights. We love hearing stories of people who start businesses and where they go with it. It's an education in itself, for sure. And once you have that knowledge, you can be a resource for a lot of others to help them along in their journey. So thanks for the insights. We really appreciate it. And we'll have to catch up with you here in a little while and see how everything's still going. Sound good?
Definitely. All right. Thank you to help. Profitable. See you later, guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you like content like this, if you like hearing other sellers' journeys, learning from other experts in the space. We go live almost every day. You can hear us on our podcast, or you can also see the live streams on Slozo's social media channels. Additionally, if whatever level you're in your business right now and you need help with advertising, Solozo can help automate and optimize your ads for you. You can go to solozo.com and you can book a demo. You can talk to either Chris or myself on a 30-minute call. We'll talk about whatever you want and talk to you about how Solozo can help optimize your advertising. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Nyesworld. We'll see you.